Here in Minneapolis, the fans are ready to go, trying to will their home Vikings to another win today. They've been great at home. They're 6-1 here on the year. One more win with Case Keenum at the controls would get them the #2 seed in the NFC and a first-round playoff bye. Even more important this year because the Super Bowl is in this building, so think about what you're playing for. That's a nice little carrot to dangle out in front. Minnesota has won the toss. They have deferred. The Bears will start first. Cohen back to receive, and here we go. From frigid Minneapolis, but warm inside the dome. Short kick, Cohen going to take it. Out across the 15, a little stutter to the 20, and that's where his path is going to come up short. But the Bears will come out on offense with Mitchell Trubisky, who is coming on out. Remember, just started 13 games last year in college. 12th start today as a Bear, but each one's been a little bit better.
And they've expanded the playbook for him, something that he asked for and something that was sorely needed, because if all you're doing is running the football and throwing short passes, NFL defenses eat that up. Now they've allowed him to expand it a little bit, throw it downfield, and the Bears offense is picked up.
On 1st and 10, they will run it with Jordan Howard. Another 1,000-yard season for him, but no yards on that particular play. Injuries for this game, always at this time of year a factor for the Bears. Big factor on the offensive line because 2 of their starters are out today. Sitting at guard, Massey at tackle. Vikings starting center Pat Elflein is also out, so we'll watch how that all plays out. So for the Bears, there's a lot of movement, really. Leno is essentially the only guy that stays the same at left tackle. There's Charles Leno. He's played every game on the left side. Second and 10. Trubisky to throw. They get it out to Cohen in the flat, and he's got nowhere to go. Harrison Smith was right there, and immediately a 3rd and long on this first series. Charles, this Vikings defense comes in #1 in scoring, just over 16 points a game, and #1 in yards allowed.
And a big reason is that they get teams into this position often. You mentioned right away, it's 3rd and long to start this game. When the Vikings get you in 3rd and 7 or more, full advantage for their defense. They'll get exotic, and they get after the quarterback.
They're historically good on 3rd down. There you see it, 26%, which is incredible. 3rd and 9. 4-man rush. They get it to Cohen. Looks to make a move. Does. Tariq Cohen comes up shy of the first, though. Made the first man miss, but Anthony Barr is there to clean it up, and a 3-and-out for Chicago.
You saw how they just stacked the line of scrimmage there, Kevin Burkhardt, and made you to make decisions on who to block, who's going to come at the quarterback, who's going to back out of the line of scrimmage. Eric Kendricks did and was in coverage on that play.
Marcus Sherrill's back to return for Minnesota. 5 punt return TDs in his career. 2 last year, none this year. As O'Donnell with a punt. High, good sailing kick. Sherrill's inside the 20. Makes 2 Bears miss and another. Out to the 30 and a good return. And that's where we'll see this Minnesota offense and Case Keenum, who has been simply spectacular. I mean, you look at what he had done in his career prior to this year. He had 9 wins total. He's got 10 wins as a starter this year. How about the completion percentage? It's world's better, a career high by far for him, and so is the rating. He's been a new man, quite frankly, in Minnesota.
And they've loved every bit of what they've gotten from Case Keenum because he came into the huddle in the Chicago game in Chicago with charisma and confidence. And they needed it at that time, pulled out a narrow victory, and have elevated since then.
They'll hand off to McKinnon on the first play. And McKinnon, who had a big game against the Bears in Week 5, is going to pick up a couple. That's the thing about Keenum. Remember, Sam Bradford started the first game of the year. He was great in that first game and then got hurt. So Keenum played a little bit. Bradford came back in to play that Bears game, and he was hurt and he wasn't very good. And then Keenum came in the second half, and it's been his team.
And you hear it from the teammates. They all admired that Sam Bradford tried to go in that game, but they needed what Case Keenum brought them, and that really made things work out well. He's got a brand new center today, and Joe Berger for Pat Elflein.
Here's Keenum on the fake. Pressure. Steps away. Slings it. Incomplete. A little behind Adam Thielen, and now a late flag around the quarterback. Eddie Goldman had his hands up as if to say, I didn't do it, but Maybe he did. We'll take a look.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 91. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
You just mentioned, Kevin, that Eddie Goldman had hands up at the end of it. Let's take a look and see why. Yes, exactly why. It goes right into him, helmet first, into the chest of Case Keenum. And as soon as the hands go up, that's almost a signal of, I know I did something wrong. I hope you didn't catch me.
You know, when you're a team that has 5 wins and you struggled and you're playing a team that's trying to get a first-round bye, you can't make mistakes like that. And so that'll move Minnesota 15 yards forward out to the 48-yard line. We go jumbo package with Avion Collins in the game, the rookie tackle. Here's Murray. Latavius Murray with a good-looking run is going to pick up almost 7 yards on that first down. Minnesota offensive line, Charles, they've been very good this year, but they're playing without Elflein today, you mentioned. And then also they lost, they've got Jeremiah Searles in there today. They lose Nick Easton to a broken ankle last week. It's a pretty big deal.
It is, because this is a pretty good defensive front for the Chicago Bears. They think it'll be a challenge.
There's Murray up the middle. Good hole for Murray, and it's a first down. Latavius Murray down to the 40.
Kevin, you mentioned Avion Collins, the backup offensive tackle, coming into the game in their jumbo package. Back-to-back plays. He's got nice blocks at the line of scrimmage and carved holes for the runners to get through. And the Vikings pick up another first down.
And because of the injuries, he's played on special teams this year, but he hasn't played an offensive series till right now. On first down, Keenum to throw as a man wide open. It's Diggs. Breaks the tackle. Stephon Diggs inside the 20, down to the 14. He broke through the tackle of Adrian Amos, and he picked up 26.
There goes Stephon Diggs, shallow crossing route. And the pass is nice, the catch is nice. But what makes the play what it turned out to be was right there. Stephon Diggs eluding the tackle by Adrian Amos. The extra yards that you pick up after the catch really power an offense, and the Vikings get it from their receivers.
Extra offensive lineman again, they'll run it. Murray left, cuts up the field, good cut. And a good run by Murray. Excellent cut, he's got a 9-yard run.
So if Mike Zimmer, the head coach of the Vikings, Kevin, was worried about focus with his team early in the game, I don't think he has much to worry about. Look at them all match up at the line of scrimmage. Look at everyone getting a block here, and now watch how Murray just finds a crease behind Berger 61. But that whole left side of the offensive line, everyone got a block and allowed Murray to get into the secondary.
On second down, they'll run it. It's Murray up the middle, still chugging forward, still going. And he finally gets stacked up at the 1. Let's go down to the sidelines with Pam Oliver.
Hey, Kevin, Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer, he told us that he did not want to understate the importance of this game. He had some of his captains address some of the younger players to get them to understand that a first-round bye is not an automatic thing. Kyle Rudolph was one of the players who addressed the team. He wanted them to understand that success is fragile, and you have to take advantage of those important opportunities.
Well, Pammy, it's a good call. And by the way, Pam playing hurt, rock star that she is. First down and goal. Murray. Touchdown.
So it wasn't just second effort by Murray. It was a second and third effort by the guys blocking for him. Look at the surge there. Look at Searles, 75, trying to get him in. Look at Ham, number 30, trying to help. Collins, 76. All them pushing and making sure that he got into the end zone.
Well, you think about sending a message, right? 7 plays, 6 runs on the drive for Minnesota. Obviously, the big penalty. That helped as well. And right down the field, like a hot knife through butter on the opening drive. They passed it once and completed it once, and it was a big one. Diggs for 26, set up Murray for 6, 7-0 Minnesota. So the Vikings get the ball on their first possession and go right down the field. 7 plays, 70 yards. They ran 6 of those. Murray had a big chunk on the drive, 26 yards, and then the 1-yard touchdown drive, about as good as you could script it.
So Pam Oliver told us that Mike Zimmer had some of his veteran players address the younger guys about focusing on this game. 12-3, first round bye not guaranteed. Looks like the message has sunk in pretty quickly for his team.
Cohen usually takes it out as long as he's 5 yards in the end zone. He does here, and he makes man miss, and he gets out to the 25, and the Bears will have their second possession. Well, to hit on that and what Pam said even more, we sat down with Kyle Rudolph the other day, right? And he said, you know, look, you have to preach to the young guys. 12-3, it's special. It doesn't come around all the time, and he's been in the playoffs twice. Been 1 and out both times. So he knows. He
understands. Look, I'm old enough to remember Dan Marino's second year in the NFL. Monster season. The Dolphins go to the Super Bowl and play the 49ers and get beat. In the offseason, he did a commercial with Joe Montana and told Joe, next time I'm buying, never got back to the Super Bowl. Yeah. It's not promised.
So they've come out flying. Can the Bears respond? There's Jordan Howard running left. Jordan Howard is buried. My goodness. Anthony Barr just gave him no chance.
So Barr, while playing linebacker, look at him read and sees the opening, and before Hronis Krasu, number 55, has any chance as the starting center to get to him, Barr in 55 in purple flashes by him like a wide receiver, a sprinter, and takes down Jordan Howard.
Bears have had a lot of those this year, negative rushing plays, which is interesting because they're a pretty good running team. Trubisky will throw. He's got Kendall Wright. Gets across the original line of scrimmage. Third down coming up. Our first game break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. So from the NFC's number 2 seed to the AFC's number 2 seed, no Ben Roethlisberger, no Killer Bees, no problem. Darius Hayward-Bay takes the end around 29 yards for the score. Steelers lead this one 7-0. Of course, Cleveland looking for their first win of the season. Ken?
So, yeah, there you go. So the Steelers resting guys. If the Steelers win and Patriots lose, Steelers could get the number 2 seed. Excuse me, the 1 seed still. Vikings show blitz. 3rd and 8. Trubisky fires incomplete. He was looking for Bellamy far side, but he really wasn't open because Trey Waynes was all over him, and back-to-back 3-and-outs.
So you saw again Minnesota, all the players up on the line of scrimmage making Mitchell Trubisky guess at what their intentions are. The second part of that play is what you just noted. Trey Waynes, what an improved player on the corner, to the point now where the Vikings don't have to get an extra eye, send an extra guy in his area to try and help out. Much more comfortable in man-to-man, and is really having a nice season.
O'Donnell just got it off. Man, that was close. Eric Wilson almost blocked it. So here's Sherrills from the 15, and he gets decked at the 28-yard line, and that's where Minnesota will take over. Good start for the Vikings, looking to get that first-round playoff bye and up 7 early. Well, I'll tell you what, in a day where Lions could sit next to Tigers, outside in Minneapolis today, it is ridiculous. It feels like -22. But to this person, it feels like tropical sunshine. Good news, Charles, we're in a dome. We are inside. And I really would like to thank the Wilfs for building an indoor stadium.
And in fact, we did.
We did, you're right.
We did. We darn near hugged it out with Mark Wilf. So we appreciate it. We're sorry, Coach Bud Grant, but we like the dome.
It is so cold here. It's cold really across most of the country right now. But here inside U.S. Bank Stadium, it's perfect. Hand off to McKinnon for Minnesota. Breaks the tackle. And a good run for McKinnon. He's got himself 5 yards on that carry. He had a monster game against Chicago back in Week 5 at a 58-yard touchdown. It was really the big difference in that second half. He's had a good year. I mean, you consider for this Vikings team, Dalvin Cook was their guy. The rookie from Florida State was leading the league in rushing. He got hurt. week 4. And then the Vikings played the Bears the next week, and that's when McKinnon went off. Second down, Keenum to throw. It's Morgan who makes the slick grab, and he's going to be shy of a first by a couple yards.
Known for his blocking, David Morgan was also a hero in Green Bay in their recent game where he had to fill in as the emergency long snapper after an injury in that game to Kevin McDermott, number 47, who looks like he's going to miss the rest of the year, placed on IR, dislocated shoulder. Jeff Overball is now the new long snapper.
3rd and 2. Keenum going to loft it for Thielen. Incomplete. There is a flag. Bryce Callahan on the coverage. Looks like he might get the penalty.
And I thought it was an excellent job by Adam Thielen.
Pass interference. Defense, number 37. The ball we placed on the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
See, Adam Thielen saw the football coming towards him. And you see his eyes, and Bryce Callahan never saw the football. So because he never saw it, Adam Thielen made a play on the football and let Callahan's body come into him and drew the pass interference call.
Yeah, again, it's
very slick by Thielen.
That old face guarding rule doesn't apply, but you have to make a play on the ball.
If he never runs into him, never has contact, he never has to look for the ball.
Correct.
But in this case, he ran right into Thielen. It was an excellent call.
So a 27-yard penalty. A couple big penalties on the Bears already. With the roughing the passer and then that one. And so a 1st and 10 from the Chicago 41. They go jumbo package again. Murray, Latavius Murray, big hole for Murray, who gets whacked down at the 35, but another pickup of 6 as the Vikings open up some big running lanes early on.
So they keep talking about this retooled offensive line. It's working well. Searle 75 at left guard. And there, of course, Riley Reef. Now look at where he's got back there because everything is blocked to the left. Good job by Murray with the vision to see the cutback to his right. And Trevathan does a nice job playing off of the block of Berger 61 to try and haul him down.
Fake the run. Keenum, blitz coming. It's picked up. Fires got a man. Morgan wide open inside the 20 and inside the 10. Man, that was pretty. David Morgan wide open and Keenum hit him perfectly. Hang on, though. A flag back by the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense, number 25. It's a 10-yard penalty replay. 2nd down.
So that negates the big play, and he'll move him on back 10 yards on Murray.
So watch Murray, number 25, working on Amos, number 38. You see him get his hand around the frame of his body. So instead of blocking him, he's essentially tackling him. And that was detected by Craig Rolstad and his crew. But what a pretty play otherwise. And to me, Kevin, I'm seeing more and more in the NFL of the misdirection because they're taking the defenses and using their speed and aggressiveness against them, showing them one thing and hitting back to the opposite side.
Looking left, it's Keenum. Now in trouble, throws caught. And he's going to pick up 4 yards to Thielen. Pretty good coverage on that play by Prince Amukamara. You know, Charles, it's not just, we talked about Joe Berger at center, and Berger's a veteran. He's played center a lot before, but the right side of that line is different too. Mike Remmers, who's their normal right tackle, he's playing right guard today. He's never played guard, ever.
No, he's practiced it a little bit, and he told us that he practiced it with Tampa Bay years ago when he was on the practice squad with them. Now it's 3rd and long, advantage Chicago on defense. They have to make sure they make this work for them.
Yeah, Rashad Hill's playing right tackle today. He's played a lot and he's been very good. Blitz coming. Thielen on 3rd down. It's picked up on the run. Now stopping, throwing nobody home out of bounds. So the Bears get a hold. Meanwhile, we've got another game break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. Let's check in on the number 1 seed in the AFC, trying to hold on to that spot. You got Dion Lewis capping off a 13-play, 75-yard drive with that score. Patriots clinched the number 1 seed with the win. They're up 7-0. Kevin?
Carissa, thanks. So those, really the Patriots and the Steelers game, Charles, and our game here, the only games worth anything early. All the other games with those matchups and teams trying to get in the playoffs are later today. So we'll keep you updated on those too, as Minnesota will punt. Cohen's got 1 punt return touchdown on the year. Good high kick by Quigley. And Sherrills, who's a special teams demon, down there to down it at the 5. So with 3:43 to go in this first, Vikings 7, Bears nothing. Chicago football next. Bears start this possession from the 5-yard line. And they'll fake the run. Trubisky fires dart over the middle and a completion for a first down. That's Inman with a catch out to the 25.
This is really nice, too. Not just by Mitchell Trubisky, but Dontrell Inman by picking his body in front and working on Xavier Rhodes, who's going to the Pro Bowl, one of the better cover guys in the league. They showed a little misdirection. Trubisky came back and fired it with anticipation that Inman would be there, and he was.
So a 19-yard gain is right in motion. Fake to him, it goes to Howard up the middle. Not much room for Jordan Howard so far. This is his third carry. He's got -1 yards. And Jordan Howard, Charles, when you consider he came into today 5th in the league in rushing, he's had back-to-back 1,000-yard years, which to me, considering the Bears do not have any deep threats, they load the box against him all the time. Ultra impressive.
It is ultra impressive for exactly the reasons stated. There's no one in the league playing the Bears worried about a deep threat or worried about getting pushed in the secondary, so they load up the box against him, and that's what he runs against every Sunday.
He's been a great find. Fake to Howard here. Pressure. He'll get it back to him, looking to set up a screen. Howard patiently sets up the blocks. He's about a yard shy of a first down. Be a 3rd and 1 coming up.
Brought down by the Vikings, Nicole Joseph.
But Howard this year coming in 1,113 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns. Bears got him in the 5th round, an absolute steal, at least it looks like it so far. Third down and 1 coming up. Give it to the up man, Burton, and that is not going to work. That was Anthony Barr has had himself quite the first quarter.
And what vision by Barr to see the handoff go to the fullback and not go to the tailback as we all expected. So watch him just to the right side, coming crashing down on the line of scrimmage was Anthony Barr. He was played an outside linebacker spot and just came right down the line of scrimmage and didn't go to the tailback as you would have expected on that carry and ate up the fullback.
So O'Donnell will punt it again. He actually had a fake punt and a touchdown pass the last time these two teams met in Week 5. A 38-yard score to Benny Cunningham. This is a lot farther away, and the play clock is down to 0. And they'll move it back 5 yards.
I don't think we're in any danger of seeing that fake here.
No.
In this part of the field. Now, the throw O'Donnell made in that game wasn't exactly a work of art, but it turned into a 38-yard touchdown. Benny Cunningham broke about 2 tackles, powered through into the end zone. But all O'Donnell knows is he's 1 for 1 for a touchdown for the year.
Hey, the box score next day, Charles, it was a rocket. That's all I can tell you. So after the penalty, O'Donnell will try it again. Here is Sherrills. Has room if he wants it. And he'll take it. Up the middle. Good move. Oh, my goodness. What a hit. Christian Jones. Bring it on special teams. And Sherrills stops at the 29. Well, Christian Jones playing a little specials. That'll wake you up on a cold morning. Thursday night on FS1, College Hoops tips off 7:30 Eastern. Maryland looking to upset Miles Bridges and number 2 Michigan State. College Hoops FS1 streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Tom Izzo got another stick out there in East Lansing, doesn't he?
Shocking, because he never gets good players. 7-0 Vikings with 38 seconds to go in this first quarter. Their third possession. From the 29, it is McKinnon. Running left, gets a block. And he's out across the 33 as McKinnon. Mukamara was there, and that may take us to the end of this first quarter. Yeah, if you just turned this on, Vikings win, they get a bye and a number 2 seed in the NFC playoffs, so a lot on the line for them. Trying to win 13 games for only the second time in their franchise history today, and looks like they're totally content. Waiting for the second quarter here. Opening drive touchdown for them. Latavius Murray with a touchdown run. His 7th of the year. That's the difference after one. All Minnesota. 7-0. What a gorgeous shot of this absolutely fantastic U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It is a gem what the Vikings built here. Host of the Super Bowl, and rightfully so. It's got so many wonderful features. To me, though, the way they constructed that roof, sunshine coming in, is the best one. Start the second quarter. 2nd down and 6 for the Vikes. Give it to McKinnon. He scurries across the 35. Be a 3rd down and short. So if you're the Bears here today, Charles, you got a 5-win team. It's been another rough year. All this reports about John Fox being fired tomorrow. How do these players handle that today?
It's not easy for them because a lot of these guys like playing for John Fox, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They love playing for him and Vic Fangio. But they always go back to what they always say. Control what we can control. We can't control what happens with Coach Fox. Let's try and control our play and give our best efforts. I am a little bit confused, though. Their last offensive series, 5 wins, 3rd and short like that. I'm surprised the ball didn't go to Jordan Howard at the very least, if not going for a bigger shot.
3rd and short Minnesota here. Diggs, good contested catch. And Mukamara was right on him, but Diggs hauled it in. 1st down Minnesota.
In our Fox NFL kickoff show, Terry Bradshaw talked about today for the Vikings, making sure they don't get too conservative. Just try and hold on and win. Want them to still be as aggressive as they've been throughout the season. There's an aggressive play right there on 3rd and short. Case Keenum throwing the football for a 1st down.
A good point by Terry. Keep doing what you're doing. McKinnon, nowhere to go. Bears played that well. Amos from safety came up and made that tackle. And it's got to be hard, right? Because you come in, you're like, okay, well, good at home. You're playing a team you should beat. You still got to finish.
And they rolled down the field on the first drive and scored. Sometimes that works almost as if, well, we can do this anytime. And you get off the gas, and next thing you know, you're in the game. Right now, it's still 7-0. Vital for the Vikings if they want to take charge. Go down here and get some points.
Vikings go jumbo formation again. Fake to McKinnon. Keenum's got some time. Now the pocket collapses. Throw it out. It's Ham, the fullback. And Ham breaks one tackle. Gets up to the 48. A 3rd down coming up.
Well, they certainly weren't going conservative on that call. You nailed it, Kevin. Look at this formation. Look at all those guys across the front showing you heavy run, and then he wanted to take the deep shot downfield. But the Bears covered it in the secondary, wanted to find Adam Thielen, number 19. He had to come off of him and check it down to C.J. Ham. And that's something that Case Keenum has gotten better at doing throughout this season. Not just staying with everything downfield, almost all or nothing. Now he checks it down to good advantage for the Vikings.
Keenum back to throw on 3rd down. Pressure comes off his back foot, going to throw it away, and now a penalty from the secondary. Kyle Rudolph was kind of signaling that the hold was on him, but let's see.
So here's Rudolph, 82, running his route downfield, working.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 30. It's a 5-yard penalty, an automatic. 1st down.
So he met 31, Marcus Cooper Sr., who lost his job earlier this year and has struggled in playing. And he negated a really nice job of coverage by Prince Amukamara. Because what Keenum wanted to do was throw a slant route, and Amukamara took that away to Stephon Diggs, and that forced him to throw the ball away. And they negated it with a penalty in the secondary.
Yeah, penalties have really hurt Chicago. 4 of them today, but 3 of them big. That one keeps the drive alive. 1st and 10. Keenum looking to throw. Hit as he throws. Incomplete. Bears starting to get some pressure now. It was Bullard that time.
Remember, the defensive front of the Chicago Bears garners respect throughout the league. So you take a look here. These guys up front, look at them get after it. See right from the outside, that's Lamar Houston, number 99, his 2nd stint with the Chicago Bears. 4 sacks in his last 4 games.
Second and 10. McKinnon Stops, bounces left, great move. Jerick McKinnon now to the near sideline. Boy, that was some move to make something out of nothing. He deked Sam Acho out of his shoes, and he picked up 6.
And Jonathan Bullard looked like he had blown up that play with his rush. And he ended up going against Jeremiah Searles and looked like he stacked it up. But McKinnon's vision and ability to cut to the opposite side opened things up again. Because if he went where the ball was supposed to go, the Bears had that played perfectly. But his vision got him a few extra yards.
That's McKinnon now lining up as a wide receiver, bottom of your screen. On a 3rd and 4. Vikings' 3rd best 3rd down team in the league offensively. Blitz coming. Keenum backpedals, throws. Man wide open. First down by Thielen. Adam Thielen got open. Such a big 3rd down target for the Vikes. And a first down.
But he came into the game 2nd in the league in 3rd down receptions and 2nd in the league in converting them into first downs. That's his 33rd 3rd down reception and the 25th time he's turned it into a first down.
Keenum wants to go quick, so he will get them up the line. Case Keenum.
Hey, rush!
3-man rush this time. Keenum over the middle, wide open is Adam Thielen, who takes a pretty good hit, but not before a pickup of 5. Amos, the safety, came in on the hit. Talking about Thielen on 3rd down. 33 catches, 25 of those for first downs. Only Keenan Allen on the Chargers has been better.
Not afraid to go across the middle and make those tough contested catches.
10th play of this drive for Minnesota.
They go big again across the front.
It's been a common theme early. They'll give it to Murray, his 7th carry. Latavius Murray is pretty stacked up by Akeem Hicks and a couple of his buddies. Akeem Hicks, Charles, Bears don't have any Pro Bowlers. He should probably be one.
Yeah, if he's upset about a Pro Bowl snub, he has a right to be in that conversation. And I think that's motivating him here today. 8.5 sacks on the season, a career high for him. But he plays the run equally as well as you just saw there. They brought in the heavy formation, and as you noted, totally stacked that up. No creases, no place to run with the football.
He had a career high in sacks last year and then had a new career high again this year. It's been a great pickup by the Bears.
Man coverage could get in the middle of the field.
3rd and 4, blitz coming. Keenum on the roll, floats it up, going end zone, incomplete, and another penalty coming. He was looking for Jarius Wright. It was Callahan on the coverage.
He got the man coverage he was looking for.
Pass interference. Defense number 37. A foul occurred in the end zone. The ball was placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
2nd time they got Bryce Callahan unable to locate the football. He's trying to get his head around now. The problem is he's totally contacted with the receiver while he's doing it, while the ball's in the air. So that reminds me of something Case Keenum told us. I trust my receivers. They fight for the football, so I want to give them every opportunity. You may think they're covered, but the way they go for the ball, I don't consider them covered all the time. And another big play came as a result of Case Keenum trusting his receivers.
51 yards in penalties against Callahan alone in this first half. 1st and goal. It's Murray up the middle. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Just who's going to own the line of scrimmage. And essentially it was a stalemate, but you notice how Latavius Murray got low on that play and just burrowed his way through. Case Keenum set him up with a big pass into the end zone that was called interference, and then Murray carried it home.
8th rushing touchdown of the year for Murray that leads the team. Pat Shurmur's offense continues to hum and trying to make it a 14-0 start for the Vikings. It's Forbath. And he does just that. So, Vikings keep doing what they do. Stout defense, and their offense underrated but very good. Thielen on third down, it's been a staple. Not a bad day when you go and kiss the little one for the game and deliver 14-0. So they lose their left guard last week. Their center is out today, and the Vikings just keep on humming.
And you notice that they all sit in position. That's what offensive lines do. They unconsciously find their way. Left tackle all the way through right tackle, right in a row, same spot. Tony Sparano, offensive line coach, I think has done a tremendous job retooling this line with better talent. They've simplified some of the blocking schemes. And these guys have mixed and matched all year long. Berger's usually a right guard playing center today. Remmer's a tackle playing guard today. Searles played guard and tackle, and they haven't missed a beat.
So who sits down first when you do that alignment? That's my question.
Typically the center, because he always sets the line of scrimmage with the ball.
And then after
after that, everybody else just falls in the
Searles
line.
can sit, and then they fill out.
But you wait for the center to set it, just like he sets over the ball when you come out.
There you go. There's Elflein, who's been outstanding in his rookie year. They're hoping he'll be back by the playoffs, especially if they get a bye, so there's hope there. And then Bergers will go back to guard, and Remmer's back to tackle. But they're doing it on this offensive line. Mike Zimmer told us it's the most improved part of the team from last year.
And they have the guys that fit the mold of what Mike Zimmer was looking for. Smart, tough, no one worries about credit. They just get the job done.
So here are the Bears, down big early. Let's see what Trubisky's got on first down. Looking to throw far side. Inman jumping catch was he in, and a penalty flag too.
They may very well have gotten the penalty flag drawn. They've gotten against them. Talk about Chicago.
Xavier Rhodes is on the coverage. Let's see.
Top of your screen.
Pass interference. Offense, number 17. It's a 10-yard penalty replay.
Yeah.
First down.
You could see it there.
And it was the right call. But I would say this, I'm not sure that Inman needed to do that. What you do is you run your route. If he wants to lean on you, that's fine. But what you do is you know where the ball's coming down. You fall away from him at that last moment and create the separation that way without using your arm. Dontrell Inman gave himself a penalty he probably didn't need to take.
82 penalty yards for the Bears, only 38 total yards. Over the middle, it's Kendall Wright who makes the catch out of the 21. He's really been their one dependable receiver all year. They lost Cam Meredith in the preseason, who was very good last year. Kevin White, another starter, got hurt in week 1, and they've been a mess at wide receiver.
No one that scares anyone in the secondary in terms of speed, taking you deep, worried about that. So it's hard to manufacture your offense when everything's played within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Second down. Trubisky stands in, fires, incomplete. Looking for Marcus Wheaton, and just covered like glue by Trey Waynes.
Trey Waynes is playing with absolute supreme confidence right now. He doesn't believe anyone can do anything against him. Here goes Marcus Wheaton. Look at Waynes. Essentially runs the route with him. Plants, breaks on the football, and pops it into the air. And Eric Kendricks almost came up with an interception.
Bears 0-3 on third down. This a 3rd and 15. Got to get out to the 35.
Last week the Bears had great success running the screen game against Cleveland.
Four-man rush pressure, though. There's that screen. Charles Cohen in the middle, and he's going to be well shot for first. Now a late penalty back in the secondary. So hang on. Let's wait and see.
And that's usually a bad one because that's holding usually against the defense because that was thrown by the back judge.
And that's a first down if that's the case.
Holding. Offense,
Nope.
number 55. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is 4th down.
Well, that was a weird one because the flag came from way back there.
Yeah, that was the back judge who threw that one, Lee Dyer, all the way from deep. And typically, you see that against deep, you see that call come as defensive holding, where they see them grab the offensive lineman and not let them get out in their blocking routes. In this case, he caught the offensive lineman, Hronis Grasu, grabbing a little extra claw.
Trying to block out on that screen. So Minnesota does their job on D again. That's a common theme. Here's Sherrills. 23 to the 30. And dancing his way out across the 35. Nice return from Sherrills. Defense doing their job. We got a penalty here on the field. Hang on 1 second. Late penalty, other side of the field. So before we go to break, let's check on this.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 20. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout.
Well, thank you, Craig Rolstad. Now, Charles, we can go to break. That's how we do it on TV. Want to hear the referee? We heard him. Penalty on Minnesota. There it is on Mackenzie Alexander. Put the Vikings football and their lead. Back in a minute. 14-0 Minnesota back here in Minneapolis, along with Pam Oliver on the sidelines, Charles Davis. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Glad to have you aboard on this New Year's Eve. This has been domination by the Vikings, that's for sure. Bears penalties have hurt them as well. And how about this, Charles? This is what makes them such a complete offense. Long drives, 90 points on drives inside their own 20 like this one. That's the best in the NFL. Here's Murray. He's had an eventful start. 2 touchdowns so far today. And one thing about Minnesota, their play caller, Pat Shurmur's done a wonderful job. Right, Pam Oliver?
That's right. You guys have talked about the Vikings offensive coordinator and the success that he's had. Shurmur did not completely scrap the offensive system run by Norv Turner, who resigned as an offensive coordinator in November last season. Shurmur told us his ego is not such that he would throw out good plays from Turner's system. Tight end Kyle Rudolph, nothing but praise for that approach. A good play is a good play, guys.
He came in, what Pam's referring to, he came in, took over for Norv Turner when Norv left midway through the season last year. As Murray, short game. And Charles, I think it's pretty noble not to come in and say, hey, I'm going to institute my own system. Let's see what works, and then I'll add a couple wrinkles.
I think Pam nailed it when she talked about what he had said. Hey, you know, I'm not above using good plays. Why would I change that? The other part that Kyle Rudolph told us is that Pat Shurmur understands today's NFL, understands players, makes sure that everyone's involved. Because if everyone's not touching the ball and all these guys think they're playmakers, they get disgruntled. But in this system, everyone gets a piece of the action.
Third and 7. Keenum. Pressure up the middle, steps away, Keenum. Now he gets taken down. He's been so good at that department all year long, but the Bears bring him down with Roy Robertson Harris. Game break time, back to Carissa.
Thanks, Kevin. Cleveland looking for their first win of the year. Set up by a 54-yard catch from Josh Gordon. Duke Johnson punches it in from 2 yards out. Steelers still lead this one 14-7. Kevin?
How about Duke Johnson there, Carissa, getting a rushing touchdown, known much more as a pass catcher in Hugh Jackson's system for the Cleveland Browns.
Now Tariq Cohen back to receive. 1 punt return touchdown of the year. He is really fun to watch. Returnable kick from Quigley. And it's taken on the other side of the field is Callahan. Look at this. Callahan with big room. No one there. Gotta go. Touchdown, Chicago. Jeff Rodgers pulling out the tricks on special teams and a 59-yard score.
And that was really not just all right. So so here's Callahan catching the ball. All right, Cohen would be over here, and you notice where everyone is headed. They're headed towards Tariq Cohen. Why? He's the primary guy. This was good coaching by Jeff Rodgers. You know why? He knows they're going to kick the ball away and try their best to just circle him. He brought back a second returner and had him ready to go so he could cover the field. And Bryce Callahan, who's had 2 pass interference penalties, just atoned for them.
Well, that's one way to make up for those pass interference penalty. How about that? A little chicanery from Tariq Cohen. He's going to fake it. They're all going to go to him because why not? And then also, hey, wait a second. Ball's over there. Callahan to the house. We got a game.
So this is how they got it done. Bryce Callahan is back there, knelt down. He's on the field, so he's clearly out there and legal. But see where they have him kneeling so that he's really not in anyone's focus. And then he was out there to catch the ball because they're trying to punt the ball away from Tariq Cohen. So when he hits the ball trying to punt it away, Jeff Rodgers had it planned. Okay, if you want to punt away, here we go. And at worst, you have a guy there to catch the football so you don't give up extra yards. Excellent special teams coaching by Jeff Rodgers.
That was pretty outstanding because we look back, I'm like, where did he come from? They had him kneeling right next to the sideline. You couldn't see him. That was really neat stuff by the Bears, and it gets him back in this game. There's Jeff Rodgers. Benny Cunningham is down hurt for Chicago.
Well, you figure a team that's won just 5 games has got to pull out a few stops. They didn't do it on offense when they had a chance early, but they just did it in special teams.
So they had a special teams touchdown against Minnesota last time.
Yes, on the fake field goal.
Punt.
Fake punt. Oh,
now, special teams touchdown this time. As you see Callahan, we've documented a couple big pass interference penalties, but he made amends there with the touchdown. Injury to Cunningham. Will be back in 30 seconds after this message from Lowe's. Benny Cunningham limps off for the Bears. Good special teams player, third down back for them. And so he's out of there.
And this turns into a big series, Kevin, for the Vikings offense, because the Bears now have a little momentum going, and that's a defense that's pretty proud and has played hard all year long, the top 10 defense in the NFL.
Jumbo package again and the fake. Keenum's got a lot of time, can run it if he wants. He'll throw it. Here's Adam Thielen. Makes the catch, moves ahead for a first down.
Keenum's legs have been a big part of what Minnesota has implemented in offense. And look at Thielen, just sets himself up like he's on the low block playing basketball and shows his numbers back to Keenum for a reception.
Here's Murray. And boy, it looked like there was a big hole there, but it closed up quickly with Danny Trevathan. Case Keenum, the one thing, well, not the one thing, but one of the things he's been great. Watch this. In the pocket, very good, right? I mean, a 94.7 rating. See the touchdowns and interceptions. Out of the pocket, just like that, outstanding.
It's Russell Wilson-esque, being able to get outside of the pocket, create those extra plays, and find people open downfield, as he did with Adam Thielen on the first down play.
Difference is he doesn't really look to run. He looks to throw it, and he's been super successful. Here's Diggs on a pitch back. He is in trouble. Diggs going way back, and that play's a disaster. Jonathan Bullard and Akeem Hicks were all over it, and Diggs now, see where they mark him out at the 30. He's going to lose 7.
You're trying to get a fast-flowing defense to move against the flow, and Akeem Hicks read his keys perfectly, stayed at home, and ran Stephon Diggs off to the sideline. They were trying to get that whole Bears team to come flowing downhill towards the ball carrier and hit back against them. Well played by Akeem Hicks.
Third and 16. It's only a 3-man rush. Keenum looking, firing, complete, and that's going to be a catch to Treadwell, but he's well shy of a first down. The Vikings will have to punt.
Well defended by Chicago. They actually played the sticks, dropped everyone deep into coverage, and said you can have anything underneath. And then Sherrick McManus, known more for his special teams play, comes on the field to help in this nickel and dime coverage and ends up making the play to stop him before a first down.
Charles, I can confirm there are no kneeling Bears in the field right now. At least that I can see. Callahan on the bench actually this time. The Quigley will punt. Gets it off. High kick. Might have gotten tipped a little bit actually, but still a great punch. And the Bears will have it down near their own 10. When you combine the most provocative man in sports with the most interesting man in sports, you get opinion that cuts through the hype. Speak for yourself. Colin Cowherd, Jason Whitlock, weekdays 5 Eastern, only on FS1. 14-7 game Vikings, 3:12 to go in this first half.
Oh, you see? I'm sorry about that, Kevin. You're seeing a lot of proud Bears playing in this game. A lot of pride on the line. You know, it was 14-0. They could have gone away pretty easily, right? Got the fake, got the punt return touchdown, stopped them on defense. Now they got another opportunity.
Here's Trubisky. They'll run it to Howard. He's got 3 carries for 0 yards, and it's going to be 4 carries for -3 yards. Unbelievable defense as Hunter on the tackle.
I believe Brian Robinson made an excellent play to start. Watch to the left side, number 96, right in here. See how he pushes back against the offensive lineman?
Oh, yeah.
See how he makes him move back? Tom Compton, number 76. So he holds the line of scrimmage, doesn't provide any creases, and allows the rest of the Vikings to get there.
The Bears are the 11th best running team in the NFL. They do that well. Currently today, they have -3 yards on the ground. -3. It's like the temperature, Charles. Actually, it's colder. Trubisky in trouble. Now he's dead. The ball is out. Is it incomplete? Penalty flag 2. Incomplete pass, but hang on. Let's see on the penalty here.
So remember, he's in the end zone here.
If it's grounding, it's a safety. Let's see.
Intentional grounding. Offense. That results in a safety because it occurred in the end zone.
See him dancing back and trying to get away from Linval Joseph, and he is clearly in the end zone when he does the backwards flick to get rid of the football. See where he establishes past the goal line and tries to throw it. Ball doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. No one in the area. A safety as a result. Linval Joseph, number 98, Danielle Hunter, number 99, combining to make Mitchell Trubisky make a rookie mistake and turn it into points for the Vikings.
Now, I've seen some interesting passes before, but the backward flip, that's different.
See, the problem is, guys in Mitchell Trubisky's
The previous play is under review.
and they're going to check and see, was he truly in the, all the things have to be checked. Yep, was ball in field of play when he actually flicked it out of there because his body was in there. And let's take a look here. I think that's a safety because where he's throwing it from, that ball was established back over the line of scrimmage on the goal line.
Well, why don't we bring in our rules expert from Los Angeles, Dean Blandino. Dean, so what are the guys looking at here when they're watching this?
Yeah, here they're looking at where the ball was in relation to the goal line when he released it. And that was a great look there down the line. I don't see anything to change it. He's in the end zone. Has to be his body and the football in the end zone when he releases it. I think the ball was breaking the plane when he let it go. And that the call in the field of a safety should stand here.
Got it. So he would have had to have the ball across that goal line, as Dean tells us. And certainly, yeah, this is the angle, Charles.
There's no question that he is back in the end zone. And the arm action starts from behind the goal line. I think they nailed this call.
Minnesota just terrorizing people this year, and the Bears certainly had their troubles today, just 46 total yards.
And just to finish up these young quarterbacks.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. It is a safety.
And Craig Wallstat confirms it. These young quarterbacks grew up watching these creative guys, the Brett Favres of the world, make those types of plays, right? They dance around, they flick it backwards, they make plays. Sometimes it's to their detriment.
And so now the free kick after the safety. It makes it 16-7 Vikings, 2:25 to go. And Minnesota with all 3 timeouts left here, so a chance to really add on before the half. O'Donnell punts it away. Here's Sherrills. Up to the 30. Sherrills, good return. He's had a good day returning. He's all the way out to the 45-yard line. This Vikings defense has been outstanding. Look at where they rank here. Number 1 in points allowed. Number 1 in yards allowed. They're number 1 in just about everything. They don't allow big plays. They don't allow third downs. They don't allow much, Charles.
And a big part of it is they win first and second down, where you come up 3rd and 7 or more, 3rd and long. And expect now on offense for the tempo to really increase for the Vikings. This allows Pat Shurmur to go to that 2-minute offense and try and get another touchdown before the half.
Movement, penalty, let's see who.
False start. Offense. Number 75. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Mike Zimmer's upset because he believes Sam Acho, number 93, jumped and made his guys flinch and drew them into that penalty. Watch Acho, 93. And here's Searles in here.
First down at 15.
I thought more you'd see Diggs kind of rocking back number 14 as opposed to, here's Searle, 75.
Yeah, I think Rudolph and Diggs were the ones that moved.
So you saw Rudolph come up a little bit, Diggs a little bit, but not Searles.
Anyway, here's Minnesota after the penalty with McKinnon, and he's going to get a couple. That should take us down to the 2-minute warning here in Minneapolis, where the temperatures outside start of the day were -12. But these Vikings just getting warmed up. 16-7, their lead, their ball. 2-minute warning. Defective. Charles, it was defective. That's pretty funny. Well, there you go. It's New Year's Eve. Everybody's getting ready to ring in 2018 here in Minnesota. They're hoping to do so with a win. Bears just trying to play spoiler today. You just turned us on. Vikings win gets them a bye and the number 2 seed in the NFC playoffs. 2 minutes to go. Up 16-7. Second down at 13. Blitz. Keenum sees it, gets rid of it. It's Rudolph. Gets hit and decked out of bounds immediately by Amos, who's had a pretty good first half. And a 3rd and long coming up. Kyle Rudolph playing with a pretty bad ankle right now, and he kind of went back to the whole thing he told us when we met him the other day. He's like, these don't come along very often. I'm going to play.
Anyone can do what they have to do for a few weeks. And also, if they win today, he gets that extra week of rest. So he's extra motivated to try and get a little extra attention for that ankle.
Play clock winding down at 1. He'll get it off. Blitz coming. Keenum has time. Gonna let it fly. Going deep for Floyd. He catches it, but he's out of bounds. Kyle Fuller was there, and that is incomplete.
What Fuller did so well there was he gave him no room to come down with the football. You see how he used his body to just guide him over the sideline? That's well done by Kyle Fuller. Understanding where he was on the field, not giving that receiver any chance to fade into a catch. If you're going to catch it, it's going to be out of bounds.
Tariq Cohen is the only Bear back as it stands right now. Quigley, high kick. Is he going to go in the end zone? That's the only question. Look at this. Oh my goodness. He dropped it at the 1. 55-yard punt. It bounced perfectly to Sherrills, and that's where Chicago starts. What a job by Ryan Quigley.
Look at Marcus Sherrills, who's done such a terrific job on special teams, not just as a returner, but also as a guy covering. Jaron Kearse also down there, 27. And Quigley was happy with what he did, and he looked to the sideline, and his special teams coach, Mike Prefer, said, get downfield and thank the guys for getting the ball before it got to the end zone.
Quigley's had 67 punts, not 1 touchback this year. That's as good as it gets. Under a minute to go. Bears in trouble. Trubisky's going to let it fly. Going for Bellamy. Can't make the play. Tried to make the adjustment over Waynes, and it's incomplete.
And you know the difference was there for Waynes versus Bryce Callahan earlier, don't you, Kevin? No contact. See, he doesn't see the football, but he doesn't take his body into it. Doesn't panic on the play. By the time he turns to find the football, look at them, just shoulder to shoulder. No interference. That was well played by Trey Waynes.
Here's Howard up the middle, and they just can't get Howard going at all. Maybe a yard. That's it. Jordan Howard, 5th in the league in rushing. 5 carries for -1 yard, and Minnesota calls timeout. Minnesota has 2 timeouts left, 46 seconds here, so they could definitely get the ball back with a chance to make a play. How about this? Look at the rushing yards, 54 to -1. I think our stats counter only goes in positives. How about total yards? 139 for Minnesota, 48 for Chicago.
The Bears came into the game averaging 132 yards per game running the football. That's a healthy number. Them to be shut down this way. I know the offensive line's had some dings to it and been retooled, but they've been through it all year as well. Defensive front of Minnesota, pretty formidable.
Third down and 8. Get it out near side to right. Gets a block. Kendall Wright upended. Shy of the 10. Andrew Sendejo like a missile. And a timeout. Minnesota stops the clock.
So take a look at Sendejo and watch how he never even takes a backward step. Just reads it. And right there, they turn the ball back inside. Does Trey Waynes and Mackenzie Alexander, 26 and 20. And that allows Sendejo to run in the alley and come right up and make a play. That was really good team defense by Minnesota. You had the guys up front that turned the play back inside, right to where their coverage would be, and Sendejo right in the gap making the stop.
Mike Zimmer pointed Sendejo out to us the other day, Charles. Pam asked him who the most improved players on the team are. He said Sendejo is one of them. When I got here first, I didn't even think he'd make the team. He said now he's turned into an incredible tackler. Just like that. Here's the punt. Minnesota will field. Shearings. It's a man miss. And that time tackled at the 47. But 29 seconds to go. And one timeout left for the Vikings. So a chance to get on the board a little bit more. Reminder coming up, the Visa Halftime Show. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. Two big games going on right now, Patriots and Steelers. If the Patriots win, they get the 1 seed. If they were to lose and Pittsburgh were to win, the Steelers will get the 1 seed in the AFC. Everything else of importance is later.
So I'm guessing no confetti at halftime since they weren't able to pull it off on Kurt before. I think the confetti just went out.
I mean, Michael Strahan's usually pretty good at everything he does. We finally found something, Charles.
He's used to confetti raining down on him.
That's also
doing it on someone else.
He's had that a couple times. 29 seconds. McKinnon in the backfield. Keenum to throw. Stands in there, fires complete. Inbounds at Diggs, a yard shy of first. Now what are they going to do? They're going to hustle and spike it? No, they're going to call their final timeout. So the Vikings are out of timeouts. You know, anytime you get a Super Bowl in a hometown team, it's like the first thing in the year. Well, the Super Bowl's here this year. In OTAs, you're asking that. But for this team, it's a really real opportunity.
It is, and that's why today is so important, because the last 5 NFC teams that have gone to the Super Bowl have come out of the top 2 seeds, meaning a first week opening bye. So that's what they're playing for. They want to get into that position where they can get the week off, and then 2 wins gets them right back here to their building, and potentially it could be 2 wins at home all the way into the Super Bowl.
Got a real shot. Mike Zimmer's done a wonderful job. 2nd and 1. They're out of timeouts. Keenum to throw, going down the field for Rudolph, incomplete. So 20 seconds left. I mean, right now you're looking at Kai Forbath is their kicker. His long this year is 53 yards. His career long is 57 yards. He was hitting them easily from 50 today. I mean, I'd say another 5 yards and maybe you could run out and take a shot, Charles.
Because teams always want to aggressively defend the 35-yard line, 52, 53-yard field goal. And that's what they think kickers are capable of with regularity in this league.
Right from here, it's a 63-yard try if they don't get anything. Keenum back, stands in there. Treadwell comes back to get it, and he's got the first down, but only picks up 2 yards, and now the clock. They've got to get up there. They got the first, so they can spike it. 8 seconds. 6 seconds. Keenum calmly. Oh, they're going to throw it. They're going to throw a play here. Get a couple yards. What a job with 1 second. Unbelievable. Talk about poise and a little luck. But it worked out with 1 second left, and now you've got a makeable field goal try.
Now they have a fighting chance with him. And remember, indoors adds a little distance to a kicker's leg.
Sure does. So nice job by Case Keenum to hustle the troops to the line and then throw it quickly to Diggs.
Nice job of situational football by the Minnesota Vikings, something that they stressed the entire offseason.
This would be a 55-yard field goal. You see he got out in time. Be a season long for Forbath with the new snapper and the hold. And that one is wobbly and no good. And that'll end the half. 16-7 Vikings at the break as we take a look at some fun from Week 16. Sounds from the Field, brought to you by Walmart.com, now offering free 2-day shipping.
Hey, let's go score! Let's finish! Hey! There's only one thing you can say.
So at the break in Minneapolis, it's 16-7. The Vikings in front of the Bears. Chicago got a special teams touchdown. Bryce Callahan on a punt return, and this looking to add on. Charles Forbath just wasn't close.
They didn't get the field goal, but you have to like the mechanics of getting in position to get to the field goal by the Minnesota Vikings. That's something they can use in the playoffs as they try and propel themselves forward.
Quarterbacks in this first half. Keenum solid as always. Trubisky completing some passes, but as a team, the Bears have 53 total yards. Hard to get much done when you got 53 yards at the break. And so that's where we stand with Minnesota looking for a win and a first-round bye in the playoffs. They're halfway there, 16-7. Vikings at the break. Halftime show with Kurt and the guys. Coming your way to Los Angeles we go right now. Frigid temperatures outside, -12 when the game started, but inside just fine in the 60s, and the Vikings playing like they have all year long, really dominating the Bears. 16-7 they lead and trying to get a win. That would equate to a first-round playoff bye and the #2 seed. So a lot at stake for them here today. They won the toss to start the game and deferred, so they will receive here. And they do just that. Looks like there's a penalty. We have a penalty flag here? Yes, we do, out of the 35-yard line. And so we'll sort this out. Penalties killed the Bears in the first half. 7 penalties for 91 yards.
Offside, kicking team number 30. 5-yard penalty added to the touchback spot. First down and 10.
There you go. So Minnesota football, Charles, and you know, this has been their formula. A dominating defense, quarterback that is so good and efficient, doesn't make mistakes, and they got plenty of playmakers too.
And they have an extra layer in this game, though, and that is getting some guys out because they want to make sure they get healthy, even going into a bye week if they win today. Can they get some guys out, get them a little extra rest, and can they get Teddy Bridgewater on the field and get him some snaps in case they might need him in the playoffs?
I think you're going to need a little bit bigger lead for that, and they'll try to do it with the running back Murray with a couple touchdowns already today. Let's go down to the sidelines with Pam Oliver.
Well, Kevin, with a meager 53 total yards, -1 running the ball, it's no wonder John Fox talked offense with me as we went into the half. He said, we've just got to generate some offense, get that ball moving, make some plays. He's happy with how they're playing defensively. Mike Zimmer, meantime, he also talked offense. He says we're moving the ball well, and then we start messing around. He says we've got to start punching the ball into the end zone. Protection, he'd like to see more of that as well. Back to you.
Pam, thank you very much.
And I love that. Couldn't you just see Mike Zimmer saying that exactly that way to Pam? You know, we're moving the ball, and then we start messing around. That was perfect. That's absolutely perfect Zim.
Bullard is now up, so that's a good sign for the Bears.
That's a good sign. He's played well the last couple of weeks.
He has. Charles, more on Mike Zimmer, though. He is, if you're around him, he's a gem. He's a football guy through and through. He's sarcastic. We asked Kyle Rudolph about playing for him, and he gave a pretty perfect description, didn't he?
Oh, he absolutely did. He just said, listen, you always know where you stand with Mike Zimmer. You never have to worry about that. He said, but the best part is he does see the little details, the dirty, gritty things that you do to help your team win, and when you get compliments on those, then you feel 10 feet tall. You feel like Paul Bunyan around here in these parts.
He said, you know, I've actually blocked better this year because I've gotten a couple of blocking compliments, which had not happened before from Zim. Here's McKinnon, who slides down after a short gain. Penalty flag 2 from behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense, number 61. 10-yard penalty, replay. Second down.
That's on Berger playing center today.
And also talking about this being his last season in the NFL.
Been doing it for 13 years, Joe Berger. Yeah, there's an article in the paper, and he said, something that he said at the beginning of the year. He's not talking about it right now, but
Second and 15.
he's had a good year, Joe Berger, back at his familiar center position today with the injury to Elflein. 2nd and 15 now after the penalty. Here's Keenum. Going to set up a screen. McKinnon patiently. Look at this. Here's McKinnon spinning out of the 30. That looked like there was nothing there, and they made a positive play. We get another penalty, I believe.
Marker on the play.
Watch how Keenum stays patient with this play, because it looks like it's a little bit dead right there.
Pass interference. Offense number 11, blocking downfield. 10-yard penalty. Replay.
And what Keenum did, even though the play's going to come back, is he actually waited for his screen guy to get open. Right? He saw he was in the pile, kind of threw him open into the middle of that there, and created a play, even though it will come back with Laquan Treadwell blocking downfield.
Guessing with that block downfield, because that screen took an extra couple
while.
seconds.
Timing was all thrown off of it. It's often like an offensive lineman when there's a sack saying, you know something? You had my block for 3 to 4 seconds. When are you going to get rid of the football?
So with that, 2nd and 25 for Minnesota. McKinnon lines up as a wide receiver now. Bottom of your screen. He just went out of the picture. Keenum to throw. There's Morgan, the tight end, who makes the grab and powers his way out across the original line of scrimmage. 17-yard gain.
David Morgan. Tackled by Nick Witkowski.
So watch Morgan, number 89, working downfield against the linebacker. I believe that was Danny Trevathan, number 59. And Morgan comes free for another catch today.
And with that, a makeable 3rd and 8. 3-man rush. Keenum over the middle. It's Morgan again for a first down. David Morgan only had 7 catches all year. He's got 3 here today, and that moves the chains.
And he's supposed to be known, and he just flipped sides this time. Watch him work into the upfield. He bounces off of the hit by Trevathan, finds the open spot, and Keenum is on the mark with the throw.
Now it's McKinnon on the run. Squirms his way through for a pickup of 4. And I think with Kyle Rudolph's ankle, I think there's a lot of pass plays where they're kind of letting him rest a little bit today. They did that last week, too.
I think that you are correct in that. And how about David Morgan, who's supposed to be known as a blocker? When we saw him in Atlanta, he got hurt early in the game, concussion, laying a block on a defender from Atlanta. He might go into the tight end room this week and say, you know something? There's another pass catcher in here. I'm not just a blocker anymore.
Puff that chest
Yeah,
out.
it might be a little chesty about the whole thing.
Here's up the middle, and a short gain for Minnesota. One note, by the way, C.J. Ham, their fullback, has not been back in the game. Pam Oliver tells us Vikings are calling it a neck injury, so not sure if we'll see him again.
He's been valuable all year long, not just as a lead blocker. Catches the ball out of the backfield, gives them some tough runs on short yardage situations. It's been a nice compliment to this Minnesota offense.
Vikings 4 of 8 on 3rd down so far today. This will be a 3rd down and 3. Keenum has time. Oh, they'll bat it down. Nicely done by Chicago. Sam Acho is the one who got his hands on it. Minnesota will have to punt it away.
And he wanted Kyle Rudolph on this play. But look at Acho, number 93. Gets as far back towards the quarterback as possible. Knows the ball's going to be released. And look at the fundamentals. Get your hands in the passing lane. And look at him knock it away. Watch Rudolph working here against Kwiatkowski. And he's trying to work a little whip route, trying to get out of that one. He's tangled up a little bit, but the ball never got to him.
So Quigley, who's had a nice day punting, dropped one on the 1 before. And Cohen calls a fair catch, and the Bears again backed way up. Carl Eller is here, looking great on the Vikings sideline. Well, here in Minnesota, where they've got some tradition on defense with the Purple People Eaters. Led them to 4 Super Bowl appearances. The defense was amazing. Showed you Carl Eller here. We'll go on a break. He's addressing the crowd, telling everybody, let's get to the Super Bowl, a Hall of Famer. And this defense currently is playing at that type of level. They have all year, and they have especially in the last 6 weeks. Here is Howard looking to get anything positive right now, and he'll take a positive run for Chicago. This Bears offense just looking for anything at this point because they haven't had much. They've only got 1 first down. They've got 57 total yards. And you want to talk about going back to those great defense, Charles, right, in the 70s. Points per game allowed. Okay, all those teams made the Super Bowl with the Purple People Eaters, and there you go with the current Vikings defense, not that far behind.
And just think, in 1970 and 71, they didn't go to the Super Bowl, and they gave up an average of less than 10
right?
in those 2 years.
Pretty amazing. 2nd and 6 for the Bears. Trubisky on the fake. Pressure from Griffin. Stands in, throws far side, incomplete. Had no chance anyway as Inman was covered, and now a very late flag. Xavier Rhodes was on the coverage. Well, let's see on the penalty.
Xavier Rhodes in coverage, penalty marker.
They could call a hold on Xavier Rhodes here.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 29. There's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
So watch it to the outside here. Xavier Rhodes. You see him grabbing Dontrell Inman right there as he goes back towards the football. Yeah, he's got a question about the flag.
That look is great.
The look is outstanding, but I thought the flag was the right call.
Rhodes should smile. He's arguably the best cornerback in the league this year. You could certainly put others in that conversation, but he's been fantastic. First down, 2nd of the game for Chicago. There's Tariq Cohen, and Tariq Cohen goes backwards. Trey Waynes was there for a loss.
When your cornerbacks take on the idea that they're going to be complete players and we're not just cover guys, it really adds to your defense, doesn't it? And Trey Waynes has increased his tackling in a big way during his time. Watch how he stays at home as the ball cuts back. He doesn't run to the middle of the field. He stays there. Good leverage and a nice tackle on the slippery Tariq Cohen.
I mean, how many times today have I said gone backwards for Chicago? It's been unbelievable.
Too many times for the Bears.
Second down, and the Bears moved early. That's Charles Leno, the left tackle. Moving back 5 more.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
This stat is amazing. Sorry, Charles.
No, I'm sorry, but look, the 0 yards rushing is one thing. The penalty yardage, 96 yards. You mentioned it early in the game. 5-win teams don't have a margin for error. And when you have that many penalties and give increased opportunities to your opponent, the end result is you're on the low end of a 16-7 score.
Blitz coming. Trubisky stands and throws incomplete. Actually, Harrison Smith got a hand on it. So you're watching this game, you're saying, how in the world did the Bears score? Well, it wasn't on offense. They did it on special teams, Charles. And here's a look. Check out this look when they had the trickery with Bryce Callahan, who was kneeling on the play.
Yeah, he was kneeling to the right side of your screen initially. So Cohen goes over and fakes like he's catching it, draws all the defense to him. Callahan makes a sliding catch on the backside. And how about our friends at Intel having that for us and dialing it up for the points of the game for the Chicago Bears.
Meanwhile, 3rd and 18. Three-man rush. Trubisky senses a sack, running for his life, and he's taken down. Ends up being a positive couple yards, but not even close to a first, and another Chicago punt.
And this is where Mitchell Trubisky will continue to grow as a quarterback. Count the number of hitches in the pocket. Hitch 1, hitch 2, hitch, oh, you gotta go. All right, at that point, if that ball's not gone, it's usually a disaster for the quarterback because of the pass rush of Minnesota.
O'Donnell from his own 1. Sherrills. Right side. And he's tackled at the 49 by Timo, and then a couple flags on the play. We just wanted to get you a little rock riff in before we went to commercial. Charles, you know?
You've done that to him a couple
Wake
times.
you up a little bit here on this New Year's Eve, for all the loud stuff comes later.
Don't worry, Jeff Cohen's got something else dialed up.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 42. 10-yard penalty. Timeout.
Timeout indeed. Commercial break for us. There's the rest of the song. That's what I'm talking about on this New Year's Eve. Vikings football. 16-7, they lead it. Now the Vikings offense has actually stalled a little bit. They scored on their opening drive and then 2 drives later, but see it, Charles. Punts.
Three straight punts and a missed field goal. So to me, this drive, Pat Shurmur, offensive coordinator, with this field position, I think that he's thinking about punching things up a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. Let's see if he ups the tempo a little bit, see if they go a little bit quicker, trying to establish a little bit better pace.
They'll start it with a run to Latavius Murray, and a big hole for Murray into Bears territory. Well, that'll get it going. A 14-yard run for Murray.
We've seen this all game. Watch how the blocking takes you this way, and the cutback comes here. See the zone blocking, everyone moving to their left. Now look at Murray with the vision to cut it back to the right side. And he gets inside of Lamar Houston and into the secondary.
Here they go quick. Murray again. A quick pace is something. You talked about Pat Shurmur. It's something that they've incorporated a good amount this year. And he said he got that from Chip Kelly.
3 years on the staff with Chip Kelly, but he uses it more judiciously than Chip Kelly did with his offense. Chip wanted to go fast every single play. And in the NFL, they catch up to that pretty quickly. And you can't go as fast in the NFL as you can in college. These guys are much more experienced. They're ready to go. So now he uses it as his changeup, and he's used it effectively this season.
Using it in the right spots on second down. Keenum, a lot of time, dumps it off to Murray. He doesn't go very far because Danny Trevathan wraps him up.
Really good open field tackle by Trevathan, coming up and getting Murray on the ground. You remember on the first touchdown drive of the game, Stephon Diggs got away from Amos in the open field and turned it into a big play. Trevathan just prevented that with that open field tackle.
So a 3rd down and 6.
They are going quickly, as you noted, though, Kevin, up at the line of scrimmage, ready to go.
Here's Keenum. Fires far side, knocked away. Thielen got his hands on it, but Callahan fought him, and he knocked it down, and it's incomplete, and they'll punt.
So what's the difference between this play for Bryce Callahan versus earlier? Watch. He doesn't see the football, but he actually reads Thielen, and we saw Thielen's hands start to come up. Notice how he whipped his head back around to make a play on the football? He read the hands of Adam Thielen, and when those hands came up to go for the ball, Callahan whips his head around and makes a play on the ball. Excellent job by number 37 of the Bears.
Bears defense has kept them in this game, and really it's been the theme of the year. They've kept them in almost every game they've played. Quigley punts. Cohen fair catches. I feel like this is a record on repeat. Another fair catch down in their own territory deep. Chicago football, they trail it in Minneapolis. Crowds into it, just had the Skol chant here in Minnesota. 6-1 at home, where the Vikings trying to get a first-round bye. Mitchell Trubisky hasn't had much help today. They've had awful field position all day long because the Vikings defense has been so good. And look where they are here. 1st and 10 from their own 5. It is Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard hasn't had much. That's a 3-yard gain for Howard, who now has 7 carries for 8 yards on the day.
When was the last time Jordan Howard ran the ball and didn't see a box of at least 8 people?
College, maybe?
I can't, unless you are able to spread them out and give him some type of room, there will be no room for him to run in this game against this front of Minnesota led by Linval Joseph, number 98.
The Bears start, Charles, their own 25, their own 12, their own 2, their own 8, and their own 5.
Look at this box. Look at that stack.
Pretty hard to do against the number 1 D in the league. Trubisky will throw it over the middle, and somehow Inman comes down with it for a first down. Rhodes was all over him, but it moves the chains for Chicago. Game break time. Let's check in with Carissa.
Thanks, Kevin. We go to Pittsburgh. So after the Browns tied the game at 21, Juju Smith-Schuster, well, he's going to take the ensuing kickoff back 96 yards for the score. Steelers lead this one 28-21. Kevin?
Carissa, they just can't stand prosperity there in Cleveland, can they? Get it tied at 21 and give up a kickoff return.
Pitchers and catchers only 6 weeks away, Charles, for those of you in Cleveland. On first down, it's Trubisky who will loft it, and nobody's home. So Trubisky, Charles, he's had some ups and downs, and I think it's pretty obvious he hasn't had a ton of help on offense, right? They don't have playmakers outside of the running game. Look at the quarterbacks for the Bears. Third overall was Bobby Lane back in 48. Sid Luckman, the great Sid Luckman in 39. Second overall, Bob Williams in 51. He went second overall, and then Mitchell Trubisky, second overall this year. Chicago Bears have not had a Pro Bowl quarterback since 1985 and Jim McMahon. It's been a long time, and there's a lot on this young man's shoulders. The beauty is he knows it. Second down, here's Kendall Wright looking to make a move, and Harrison Smith comes over with some help. And that's the thing about Trubisky. He knows it. You can tell by meeting with him.
He gets it. He understands and actually wants to be that guy. Wants to be in the Chicago Bears uniform a long time. Wants to be the quarterback to lead them back to prominence. We saw all those quarterbacks. Bobby Lane was a great player in the league with Detroit and Pittsburgh, not with Chicago. Bob Williams didn't have much success in Chicago. Luckman was the best quarterback, and then you end up later on with McMahon. But he's got a long way to go, and they have to give him a lot of help.
Third and 7. Blitz coming. Trubisky has it blocked for a second, but not anymore. Brian Robinson with the sack.
So watch Robinson. He just moves, and that's Anthony Barr, 55, moving into position. And then look at him coming in there, and Robinson able to clean up after they stacked up things in the pocket.
Patrick O'Donnell to boot it away. Sherrill from the 33. And Chicago played that one pretty well. So, Vikings defense doing what they do. Number one in the league. They're hooking fish up here in Minnesota. You're fishing today. It's cold. It's -12 for crying out loud. So the Vikings are trying to host the Super Bowl. That's right. The Super Bowl is right here in Minneapolis. 7 teams in history have made the playoffs and the Super Bowls in their home stadium. No team, forget about has advanced to the Super Bowl. No team has even gotten out of the divisional round, which is kind of hard to believe. There you see those finishes. The Texans were the most recent a couple years ago. They all lost in the divisional round. So that's why for Mike Zimmer's crew, it's huge to win today and earn that first round bye. And then you got 2 wins to get there. That's what Minnesota is playing for right now. Case Keenum over the middle. It's caught by Adam Thielen, who's into Chicago territory down to the 47, a 16-yard gain. And we have an injury. Who is down? It looks like Prince Amukamara. And it might have been a hit from his own teammate.
Watch top of your screen. Thielen, number 19, working into Mukamura. Coming inside on the dig route. Mukamura driving on it. Makes the play, and you're exactly right. He takes the hit by, I believe, it's Adrian Amos, number 38. Coming over to try and help with the tackle. Thielen goes low, and Amos comes over the top and pops his teammate Amukamara.
So he's up now. Prince gets a nice hand. Charles, one thing.
Good technique, though. I got to give it to him. Shoulder in there,
Sure
just like you want to tackle in today's NFL.
Looking at the scoreboard, Eagles and Cowboys are scoreless in the fourth quarter. The game means nothing. Eagles already have the number 1 seed, but they're playing everybody because they want that offense with Nick Foles in there to get going. Nick Foles today has 39 yards and an interception.
See, right now they're the number 1 seed that people are not going to fear if that offense continues.
Now, granted, it's freezing there, and I don't know how bad the wind is, but
he struggled against Oakland last Monday night as well.
I'm sure Viking fans like to hear that. Here's Murray backpedaling his way down to the 45. And honestly, I don't know about you. This NFC, like, as good as Minnesota is, there are a lot of really good teams in this. It's a really tough playoff, I think.
We actually had a discussion about it the other day, and I think by the time it was done, we made a case for 5 teams, I believe, to go to the Super Bowl from the NFC, and legitimately. Carolina could easily be one of those teams. New Orleans could be one of those teams. Obviously, the team we're watching today, Minnesota.
Blitz by Chicago. Keenum sees it, unloads it. Thielen makes a little start move, first down for Adam Thielen. 6th catch of the day. That's a game high and another first.
Open field tackling, one of the toughest things you can do in football. Watch at the end of this, number 31, Marcus Cooper. Got a chance for an open field tackle. Thielen freezes him with one move, knows where the first down marker is, and beats him to the point. Froze him right there in open field, made Cooper stop his feet, unable to make the tackle. First down, Vikings.
Here's Thielen. Thielen looking near side. Treadwell comes back to get it. Laquan Treadwell has a catch for a short gain. So with all that Super Bowl talk in Minnesota, how do you handle it if you're Adam Thielen? He told us the other day. You know, he said, hey, you know, for me, I'm always about a kind of next 10 minutes guy, not big picture, right?
Yeah,
but he may think that.
Instead of looking down the road, being able to concentrate on the here and the now. You know, and he's lucky he is, because I'm not going to lie. I'm the guy that looks at it like, what, Super Bowl? A couple of weeks from now? Yeah, keep me focused. Adam Thielen, no problem with that.
He said the thing is, though, his friends call him and be like, hey, dude, this is a big game on Sunday. He's like, yeah, no, I know.
Wait, 20!
2nd and 8. They'll run it here to McKinnon. Good cut. Jerick McKinnon breaks free inside the Bears 20.
As well as Chicago has played this year, Kevin, this is emblematic of their season, because watch in the backfield right here. Lamar Houston's got a chance to finish that play right there and doesn't get it done. And when he doesn't get that done, look at the opening that Jerick McKinnon finds. So if you're able to put him down where you're supposed to, this doesn't turn into a big run downfield. Instead, it does, and the Vikings continue to march.
98 yards rushing for Minnesota here today. The combo of McKinnon and Murray. That time, not much. And it's been an excellent combo for this team, especially when you consider that they lost their star, Dalvin Cook, in week 4. Most rushing yards by a running back tandem. Ingram and Kamara in New Orleans have been out of this world. They both made the Pro Bowl. But these two guys here have been more than serviceable.
And we just saw Ingram and Kamara last week in New Orleans. They are extremely impressive. We know that. McKinnon and Murray will not get the publicity and the notoriety, but you saw the raw numbers there and what they've done for this Vikings team.
2nd and 9. Keenum fires end zone. Touchdown, Diggs.
Well, the running game continues to help them, because this comes off a play action. And going back to towards the post, Stephon Diggs before Cooper could make a play on the ball.
Eighth touchdown of the year for Stephon Diggs. It ties Kyle Rudolph for the team high, and the extra point is up. And it is good with 14 seconds to go in the third. The Vikings extending their lead, dreaming of that playoff bye with a 23-7 lead.
See right there, Stephon Diggs with his wide receivers coach Darrell Hazel, former head coach at Kent State. Developed quite a bond with these guys, and they have produced for him in a big way this year. Thielen and Diggs are the #2 wide receiver duo in the NFL this year coming into this weekend. So you're talking about a lot of big numbers for the Minnesota Vikings, both sides of the football.
You know, the thing is, because their defense is so good, and they are excellent, the #1 in the league, I think you overlook how good their offense is, and part of that is because you're looking at the deep. Part of it is because, well, it's Case Keenum, right? He hasn't done it before. Well, their offense is legit.
That is so true. And when you think about it this way, This defense, which has been good the last few seasons, now totally trusts this offense, believes in them, which allows the defense to relax a little bit more. And if they give up an early touchdown, they don't believe the game is lost.
Mike Zimmer pointed that out. That's a big difference, just believing they lets up a score, they'll be okay. Here's Cohen. And out across the 25. Defense wins championships. That's the old saying, right? Well, best defense, points per game and total yards since 1970. 16 of those teams made the playoffs. 7 went to the Super Bowl. And then how many won it? 6 won the Super Bowl with the best defense in the league in those categories. Seahawks recently.
Some pretty classic defenses in there, huh, Kevin? Miami Dolphins, no-name defense. Right? I mean, you talk about the Buccaneers defense. It just absolutely throttled Oakland.
Of course, the Bears.
Bears, of course.
Throttled everybody that year.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? I mean, it was really ugly in the playoffs, too.
Here's Trubisky, pressure on his face, throws into double coverage, and it's complete to Inman, who kind of floated up there to make the catch, and Dontrell Inman ends the third quarter with a 20-yard pickup. And so that'll take us to the end of quarter number 3. Vikings trying to reel in a first-round bye, bringing some old purple people eater magic. Final quarter from Minneapolis. Vikings trying to get a W, and that would get them a number 2 seed and a first-round bye in the playoffs. They scored a touchdown to Stephon Diggs, his 8th of the year, extending their lead to 23-7. And the Bears going to run it to Bellamy. Here is Bellamy looking for something, and every yard's been so hard to come by against his Vikings defense here today. Chicago coming into this quarter, 86 total yards now. That's it.
Definitely one of their better runs of the game, though.
Yeah, and consider the last play before the quarter, a 20-yard pass.
And that was a good catch by Inman to create that. He's made a couple of nice catches in this game, out fighting people for the football downfield.
Pitch it to Tariq Cohen, looking for a block. Makes a man miss first down. We had a meeting with Tariq Cohen yesterday. First time I had talked to him. I know you had met him before. He is a gem.
Absolutely delightful, isn't he? And I love the question. I don't know if it was you or Pam had asked him, what makes you so elusive? How'd you get those skills? And he talked about being a kid and playing that game we all played in the backyard. You kind of throw the ball up in the air, and whoever catches the ball, you got to make sure you make everyone miss. And he also said he let the dogs chase him and tried to elude them. And they were pit bulls.
Yep.
So I said, you're a better man than me.
I would not be doing that. Look at this. He gets it on the sweep, looking to throw it for the second time this year, and it is incomplete. He threw a touchdown pass earlier this year to Zach Miller, and ironically, I asked him about it the other day. He said, hey, I threw one of the OTAs. It was on the money. I want to do it again.
To look at him, looks like it's going to be a jet sweep. He circles back, and Xavier Rhodes did an excellent job of actually getting in the face of Tariq Cohen and obscuring his vision. Remember, Cohen's only 5'6". Now watch, look at this. Look at Rhodes get into his vision and made him throw it up there a little bit higher than I think he wanted to. I think he wanted to throw a line shot, and he made him arc it over him, and it ultimately ended up incomplete.
Now they go Trubisky out as the wide receiver, Cohen in the Wildcat. We're going to run it. Cohen's going to keep it, going left, and he's got a first down. I guess the Bears realized that Tariq Cohen's on the roster. They started using him here in the fourth quarter.
They're trying out the whole package, too. We've seen the pass now. Now it's the zone read. Watch him pull it just like a good quarterback would. Read that the defensive end crashed and got to the sideline. So what's left in that package? Do you just hand it off inside now? Does he end up running some option? What do you do with him? Now that you got him going, keep it going.
Bring out the old wing team, Charles. Why not?
Here he comes again.
They fake it to him. Trubisky to throw. Pressure. Sees it. Gets it to Cohen. And there's a lot of Vikings right there. And down he goes. Game break. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, Dallas and Philly had played the first scoreless game going into the fourth quarter in the NFL since 2007. With their points on the board now, Dak hooking up with Bryce Butler. 20-yard score. Of course, they missed the extra point. Dallas up 6-0 right now. Kevin, Charles.
Kurt, thanks again for the #1 seed, as well as they were playing when Wentz went down. It's just a different team.
And what you've seen from the last 2 weeks offensively makes them feel a little bit vulnerable if you're going to play Philadelphia in the playoffs.
I think a lot vulnerable, actually.
I was trying to be nice about it.
You were very diplomatic. Tried to set up a screen. Everson Griffin knocked it away, and they say incomplete. That was a forward pass.
Did you get the sense on the last 2 plays that the Minnesota Vikings defense essentially has said, okay, enough of this stuff. We've seen the gadgets, we've seen the things, and the last 2 plays, they've really risen up, they really rose up and made plays themselves. Look at Griffin. We haven't called his name much on pass rush, but how about him getting into the passing lane there?
Chicago Bears are 0 for 7 on 3rd downs today. Trubisky, pressure coming over the middle, wide open. Bellamy gets a block. 1st down and more inside the 10. That was nicely set up, and Trubisky delivered for Chicago, a 30-yard gain.
Minnesota was trying to cause confusion, and I think the confusion happened against Minnesota because on the crossing route, Bellamy gets way away from Trey Waynes. A nice block there knocks Waynes out of the play. And look at Trubisky's eyes. Stays in the pocket, dances away from the pressure he feels, and delivers a strike to Bellamy on the crossing route, and he gains extra yardage after the catch.
That's more important here. Xavier Rhodes got hurt. He was slow to get up. Obviously getting off under his own power, but that's the guy you want healthy for the playoff run.
That was a nicely executed play by Chicago.
Was. So now a 1st and goal.
Remember, Trubisky's legs have come into play a lot more in recent weeks with the quarterback run game.
2 rushing touchdowns on the year. Throw it here. Looking, lofting, nobody home. Bellamy ran it in. He threw the fade. Incomplete. Trying to look at what happened to Xavier Rhodes.
He makes a tackle there. Comes down heavily. Hopefully just knocked the wind out of him.
Yeah, couldn't really see anything specific. Hope he's okay.
Just the way he landed on Bellamy.
On 2nd down, Trubisky looking, firing high, way high. Incomplete. I think Inman was the guy who was trying to get it to. And now a 3rd and goal is coming up.
Trey Waynes in coverage.
And Rhodes is coming back in the game, so that's the best news for Minnesota fans.
If I were Minnesota, I would assign someone to Trubisky on this one because even if he can't find a receiver, the way he moves around, he can still make a play approaching the goal line. You might think about spying him here with a Kendricks or a Barr or even a Harrison Smith.
Third and goal. Trubisky stands in, throws, incomplete.
I thought he had the middle open there, Kevin. I thought that was one time where maybe he just takes that step up in the pocket and makes a play towards the middle of the field. Because they vacated everything in here. Watch. Step up and approach the line of scrimmage and see if you've got something going. Instead, the coverage is allowed to stay suffocating downfield.
4th and goal, and obviously they're going to go. Nothing to lose for Chicago. Trubisky, end zone, knocked away, incomplete by Rhodes. Goal line stand, Minnesota, and they take over.
Number 29, little combo route, had his guy. Got a little handsy there with Inman, but nothing that's going to draw a flag. And the Vikings' pride comes out with a goal line stand to keep them up 23-7.
Well, we got to say hello to the great Jack Morris for the game. He's in the booth next to us. He is now a Hall of Famer, and he should be. He is something else. One of the greatest pitch games in playoff postseason history.
What a thrill for me to meet him today. I mean, that's Jack Morris.
Yeah, it's Hall of Famer now, Jack Morris. He said it's been a pretty good offseason, right? So he's here. First time he's been at this stadium as Murray keeps on going. Fighting hard is Latavius Murray. So there's Jack Morris, and then pan over a little bit. Hey, there we are. There we go. Here's Mitch Smith, Jeff Nelson. Mitch, do your job. Put the binoculars up.
He's trying to find Jack Morris.
He's over there.
He's right over there, but they won't let you in.
No.
Good try.
Jack is he is one of the gems of the game, and good to see him here supporting the Vikings today.
Listen, if they have effort like Jack Morris taking the ball in a big game, Vikings could have success in the playoffs, couldn't they?
2nd and 6 sure could. They'll run it again. Penalty flag flies. I asked him, I said, how would you do in the World Series today if they came to yank you after 3 1/3? He said, not good.
Could you imagine the guy going out to get Jack 3 1/3?
No.
Holding. Offense, number 69. Penalties half the distance to goal. 2nd down.
See, I would hope that whoever was in that dugout, when someone started to trot up there to the top step, that they would grab him and take him back. But you see the hold right there in front of you that brought that play back. You know, I wouldn't go out there and get Jack right now if I were you. I'd let him go.
Of course, Jack went against the great John Smoltz, who's our Hall of Famer here on Fox.
What an incredible game that was.
Yeah, it sure was. 2nd down and 11. Here's Keenum back to throw. Tips at the line of scrimmage. So how's the playoff picture shaping up, right? Let's take a look and give you an idea and see what you have. So the Eagles are locked in at number 1. Minnesota, if this holds up, looks like it will. They'll be the number 2. Those two get buys. Rams could flip-flop to 3 now. Depends on what happens today. Saints still need a win to clinch the division, so the Panthers in play there. Falcons win and they're in. Seattle needs a win by themselves and a Falcons loss to get in. So all that will play out later today on Fox. So there's a lot of movement still at stake. And of course, the last playoff spot in the NFC is still up for grabs. 3rd down and 11. Keenum. Pressure at his knees, throws incomplete.
Pressured by Akeem Hicks.
So here's what's coming up later on Fox. America's Game of the Week, pretty big one, right? Falcons control their destiny. If they win, they're in. Panthers need a win and a Saints loss. They could still win the division. New Orleans beat them twice. That's what's on the line there. Rams are resting a bunch of guys because Sean McVay didn't care if they were 3 or 4.
I think that Seahawks-Cardinals game has a lot of intrigue because the Seahawks still trying to get in, and the Cardinals have already declared that they think that the Seattle Stadium is their home field.
They've won there the last 2 years.
So this could be a whole lot of fun with a lot of speculation about Bruce Arians and his future as well.
Here's Quigley. Cohen gets a block, makes a cut. Tariq Cohen gets into Viking territory for Ben Gedeon. Brought him down with 9:53 to go from Minneapolis. Hasn't been a great day for the Bears. Hasn't been a great season for the Bears. Has for Minnesota. They're feeling pretty good right now. Big games coming up later on Fox. 4 teams for 3 spots. That's what we got. Seattle, Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina. Carolina, New Orleans in. Atlanta, Seattle trying to get in. Where will they all land? Stay tuned. It's coming up next. Here's what it looks like. Saints clinch the division with a win. Carolina needs help. Atlanta clinches the last playoff spot with a win. Seattle needs help. There you go. Stay in front of your TVs. Here are the Vikings trying to clinch the number 2 seed in a first-round bye. They're 9:53 away from doing it. As Trubisky will throw. After the fake, fires a seed, and it is complete to Inman, who's had a pretty nice day down at the 25-yard line. And that's what you like about Trubisky. He has got an absolute cannon for an arm.
And not only that, he's got plenty of poise. Think about how he's been harassed today. Gave up a safety early in the game, playing from behind almost the entire way of the contest, and still stands in the pocket firm and delivers a strike downfield. You talk about a building block. Ryan Pace's selection of him last year was a surprise. I think they're glad they have him.
run to Howard here. And the thing is with Ryan Pace, look, there's all these reports about John Fox. This might be his last game as a Bears head coach. Very possible, right? I mean, they've had a pretty miserable the last few years. I think Ryan Pace is a really smart GM. And I think if the Bears were smart, they would let him run this whole show. Yeah, he's missed on some free agents, but I think he knows what he's doing. And it's going to be really interesting to see how they progress.
And there's some pretty good models out there about how to build these teams. Ryan Pace is a smart guy, and you got to build around this young quarterback and give him help.
Well, that's the thing. Pace is going to be attached to Trubisky's success. That's the bottom line. And it certainly looks like he's got a chance. Incomplete here, looking for Sims. No penalty flag. And now late flag back behind the line of scrimmage. There was a late skirmish back there. And we'll see if we can uncover all this.
Looks like Bradley Sowell, number 79, was down, the offensive lineman, late in the vicinity of the flag. Wonder if he got knocked over late, and that's what drew the flag.
After the play, personal foul. Offense, number 79.
So that's why he was down. He didn't get knocked down. He jumped on Tom Johnson.
Yeah.
That's a 15-yard penalty. Third down.
And how about the discipline of Tom Johnson not to jump back on top of him and draw a second flag, which would have negated everything.
Smart.
Some frustration there from Sal. End of the season, tough year. And Johnson showing the discipline that Minnesota's exhibited throughout the season to get them here.
But you talked about the model for the Bears, right? And I think it's pretty easy to see in a coaching search, right? You're going to say, well, look at Sean McVay, the young offensive line.
Definitely the one.
And you turn the Rams around with a young quarterback just like Trubisky. Look, it's easy to say, go find the next Sean McVay.
Not easy to find him.
But you could see, though, the difference-making type of idea. And so I think it's pretty safe to say, yeah, you're looking for that young guy who can help mold your quarterback. Trubisky to throw. Has time. Now fires incomplete. He was looking for Inman down at the first down marker, but it came up a little short on the throw.
And that's where you would get a little criticism right there of Mitchell Trubisky, because it turned out to be a layup at the end, because he ends up working his way free, and now you've got a free receiver downfield. You need to hit him. Now you need to keep him. Put the ball on him. You've got to hit him at that point. It's going to come for him. And to your point, it doesn't have to be a young guy. It has to be an offensively innovative guy who's going to build around that quarterback. Philadelphia's done it. See with the results there. The Rams have done it. See the results there.
It's Nugent from 55 yards here to try it. And he's got it up. He's got a chance, and it is good. That ties Mike Nugent's career long, 55 yards. And that'll look good for Chicago or any team that wants to sign a kicker. The Bears get on the board with a field goal, creep a little closer, make it 23-10. 8:22 to go from Minnesota. 23-10, Vikings lead the Bears. 8:22 to go from Minneapolis. Vikings expecting an onside kick here. Mike Nugent just hit a 55-yard field goal. It ties a career high for him. And he ends up kicking it off. Sherrills will just happily take a knee, and so Minnesota will start on their own 25-yard line and looking to sew up this number 2 seed. And Charles, I just want to put a bow tie in the conversation about the Bears looking forward, and if they are indeed looking for a head coach tomorrow, as a lot of these reports suggest. You know, I know you feel this way too. I do think one guy they need to talk to is a guy right across the way on this football field on the Vikings sideline.
Yeah, Pat Shurmur. I mean, the offense court, what he's done with this team in the last year and a half, the numbers are out there. You hear how the players talk about him. And remember, he won 9 games in Cleveland. And it seems almost like Gallows humor, but all of a sudden, 9 wins in Cleveland.
Looks like a million.
You look like a heck of a football coach, don't you?
Running it are the Vikings. And McKinnon just nowhere to go, goes out of bounds. And Shurmur was really pretty honest with us the other day. I mean, he said, look, I have grown since that experience. I've learned.
But the biggest thing for him is his resume and the job he's in. How am I doing in this job?
So
if you
true.
want to come find me, how do we all get the next job? Be great in the job you're currently in. Not chasing another one, not taking his attention, trying to get a head coaching job. If one comes his way due to the work he's done here, so be it for him.
Number 10 offense in the league when you lose your lead running back and lead quarterback. I'd say that's pretty good. Here's Keenum. They'll run it, and this play will not count. Penalty flag. Might have been a delayed game here.
Prior to the snap, timeout. Minnesota. It's the first charge timeout.
Well, they saw the time winding down, so they called the timeout. We'll be right back in 30 seconds after these messages. Kings timeout, 2nd and 11. They'll run it. Murray, Latavius Murray works his way out to the 31. And we get a penalty flag, I do believe. There is John Fox.
Holding. Offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And look, John Fox, the record stinks. We know that, okay? That's the bottom line. But I will say this, Charles. I think, when you look at what's gone on, I think they had to blow everything up, okay? And I think at the very least what John has done is kind of help reset and establish a camaraderie, a culture in that locker room.
He did, and everywhere he's gone, people have enjoyed playing for him. Obviously, the record is not one that you can make a case for continuing on. I mean, you could try, but if that doesn't happen, you can understand why it's not going to. But things changed last draft when Mitchell Trubisky was selected at number 2.
No question.
Okay, once that happened, the whole course was charted in a different way for John Fox.
There's Diggs making the catch and a nice move after the penalty. Still be a 3rd down and long.
And, I said it back then, and I'll say it now. I still would have found a way to start Mitchell Trubisky game 1. No offense to Mike Glennon, but once you start that progress, that delaying it, and what was it? How many games was it?
4.
Okay, come on. Go ahead and play the guy and try and work it out from there.
3rd and 13. Vikings is happy to run this clock down, up by 13 with 6.5 to play. Here's Keenum. Has time. Now some late pressure. I think Acho got his hand on him and knocked him down for the sack.
One thing about this Bears defense, Vic Fangio has done yeoman's duty as a defensive coordinator, making this work without a lot of his prime players. Leonard Floyd, their number 1 pick 2 years ago, got hurt games ago, hasn't been able to play. Think of the number of injuries and shuffling they've had to do throughout the season. Pernell McPhee, not able to play. They had to bring Lamar Houston back to try and play on this team. And somehow, some way, they're a top 10 defense and still putting pressure on the Minnesota Vikings.
4th and 20, quickly to punt. Almost got that one blocked. And fair catch is called for. Well, you talked about the injuries, Charles, right? I mean, look, that hasn't helped, okay? I mean, they have a lot of names on this list. Kyle Long, tremendous on the offensive line. Starting wide receivers both went down either in the preseason or game 1. Defense, Floyd's terrific second-year player. Freeman's been suspended and hurt. McPhee, another pass rusher, Young. It's a lot of guys.
And every one of those guys was a starter at one point or another in terms of that defense that we just noted. And then you add the offense in, exact same thing. So that's a lot of injuries to try to navigate through. And we've seen them play hard, but they don't have enough weapons to scare you on offense.
5:34 to play. Bears football now 13. Trubisky fires, and it's caught over the middle for a 1st down. Trubisky's starting to find his stride a little bit. Inman has his 5th catch of the day.
And you notice the best routes he's throwing are in-breaking routes. Watch Inman coming in here. The in-breaking routes are the best things that he throws right now. And he'll work in the offseason on all the rest of it, trying to continue to add to his game. But you do like his poise, and I definitely like his moxie.
Inman now 5 catches, 94 yards. 1st down, near side. It's Kendall Wright has a catch, and he's spinning his way down near a 1st down. Going to be a little bit short, I do think. We'll see where they mark it. Like to welcome those who watch the Cowboys take down the Eagles 6-0. The Eagles played their starters today trying to get Foles going, and they got shut out. Here's what you're turning on right here. Vikings up 23-10. Minnesota win, and they clinch a 1st-round bye and the number 2 seed in the playoffs. A lot of penalties for Chicago. Latavius Murray, 2 rushing touchdowns. Stephon Diggs has caught a touchdown. Trubisky, that one is dropped. And it's 2nd down. Along with Pam Oliver and Charles Davis, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Glad to have the extra audience with us here today. A lot more coming on Fox. Some big playoff game implications next.
2nd down and 10 at the 33.
You just mentioned Philadelphia losing today, which really didn't mean a whole lot. But I think in terms of psyche in the NFC, they may be a #1 seed. But maybe people aren't going to be as fearful of a #1 seed based on how they've played the last 2 weeks.
On 2nd down, Trubisky lofting it for Inman against Rhodes, who had all over him, and that's going to be on Xavier Rhodes. He was grabbing and clutching and grabbing, and that'll be for sure interference.
Mike Zimmer.
Pass interference. Defense number 29. The ball we place in the spot of the foul. Automatic. 1st down.
Mike Zimmer may have the boxing gloves back on Xavier Rhodes. And what I mean by that is he's been handsy in his career. And a couple of seasons ago, well into double digits with penalties for grabbing and holding. So they put boxing gloves on him. Defend without being able to grab, because you can't grab him with those gloves on and being able to do that. He may put them on him during these 2 weeks getting ready for the playoff game. Get back to working your feet and not using your hands to clutch.
He got hurt a little bit ago. He came off under his own power. We don't know exactly what it was. He went back in 2 plays later. I wonder if something's bugging him there. Anyway, 1st down for Chicago. Trubisky fires near side. Cohen makes a man miss. Harrison Smith there to shove him out of bounds. Let's get a game break with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. Let you guys know that a big afternoon of football coming your way. So the Saints can win the division by beating the Bucs. Cam and the Panthers still alive for the NFC South. But if Matt Ryan and the Falcons win, they're in. If they lose and the Seahawks win, then Russell Wilson and Seattle goes on to the postseason. I know you guys got all that, Charles.
You know, we still like to hear from you, Carissa.
Very much so.
That's the thing.
I'd like to hear you break it down for us.
2nd and 8 for Trubisky and company. Pressure. Gets it out near side. Cunningham stays in bounds. No, they say he was out. I thought he tiptoed in, but they're going to mark him out at the 4. It'll be about 1.5 yards shy of a first. Let's see.
Which got bounced by Anthony Barr at the 4.
Right there is the possibility.
Sure looks like it.
That wouldn't be definitive if they had to go back. Let's see if this gives us a little bit better view. Right there, you see him? He's getting that little bit there with the white.
Yep.
Yeah, one less D on the size, he would have been fine.
3rd down and 2. Bears trying to make it interesting. Trubisky to throw. Looking, firing, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Inman, but he threw a howitzer there. And now a 4th down and 2.
And if I'm Chicago calling this play, I want to give Mitchell Trubisky an opportunity. If he doesn't have something to throw, you see the coverage here by Waynes and Harrison Smith. If he doesn't have it, and did he hold him there? I think that he did. He was holding him the whole way and got away with one to Trey Waynes. But I want to give Mitchell Trubisky a chance to approach the line of scrimmage and give him at least an option to run the football.
Tariq Cohen lined up bottom of your screen. All 5, 6 of them. Play clock at 2. Movement.
Free play.
Let's see who moved first. Be a 1st down if it's on Minnesota.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 99. That penalty is half the distance to the goal, which results in a 1st down.
So that's Danielle Hunter coming off down here. See him taking off there, and they're going to kill that one because they were thinking he might be unabated to the quarterback. So if you go quarterback run game, it's 1st or 2nd down, you have to do it. You know, the zone read, any of that type of possibility. Otherwise, you're throwing the heck out of it.
1st and goal. They'll run it to Howard, looking for a crease. Jordan Howard taken down. no gain. I'd like to welcome those of you who watched the Giants beat the Redskins today here in Minnesota, along with Pam Oliver and Charles Davis. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Vikings win. They've got a first-round bye. Bears trying to make it interesting, though. They're knocking on the door, 2nd and goal. 3:32 to go, and they're down 13.
I don't run it inside here. It hasn't worked all game. So I don't run it inside to Jordan Howard. I'm either faking it to him, I'm giving myself a chance to throw the football.
They fake it to him. Pressure on Trubisky. Fires to Burton, the fullback, and he gets smothered. Ben Gedeon was all over it, and a 3rd down and goal.
What a nice play by the rookie Gedeon, coming right back at you as you see them, and you end up with 2 receivers in the same spot, Burton and Daniel Brown, the tight end. So there had to be a mix-up on the route, and Gedeon made them pay for it.
Bears bringing wide receivers this time, and Tariq Cohen lines up top of the screen. Trubisky over the middle. It's caught, and now it's loose in the end zone. Incomplete pass is the call. Incomplete. And 4th and goal it is.
I love Tariq Cohen, a tremendous player. I don't understand a slant route inside to my 5'6" receiver into traffic. That I don't get. If I'm going to throw that type of a pass, I want someone with a little more size, a little more heft to deal with what you just saw right there. A bunch of bumper car collisions coming at him. That's a lot to ask for a 5'6" receiver in the goal line.
Essentially, this is a game. 4th and goal, Chicago. Trubisky, the fake pitch, they get it inside to Cohen, and he is stuffed. Like to welcome those of you who watched the Lions and Packers as Lions took care of Green Bay today. Here are the Vikings. This should wrap up their first-round bye. This was 4th and goal, Charles.
Yeah, they were trying to fake a little misdirection, throw a shovel pass inside to Tariq Cohen, but the bodies of the Minnesota Vikings snuffed out that play because they did a good job of holding the point of attack at the line of scrimmage, and no one got out of their lane. No one got fooled by the fake to the outside. You really had 2 sets of downs inside the 10 for the Bears, and never once did the quarterback show any quarterback run game or approach the line of scrimmage. They never gave him that opportunity.
Surprising, considering how good he is at running the ball. You've called for it all half. Hasn't been done once. And now Minnesota's just trying to get out of the shadow of their own end zone. And the Bears call a timeout here. So 2:14 to go. Vikings looking just to run this thing out. Welcome all of the new audience that's joined us. He's Charles Davis. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So these Vikings, obviously, if they get the number 2 seed, they got a real good chance. But are they the best team in the NFC? They're certainly right there.
They're certainly right there, but I think a case can be made for a number of teams.
Yeah.
I would say, if you want to say Minnesota, you can win with that one. Philadelphia has shown some vulnerability these last 2 games because their offense isn't perking the same way as it was under Carson Wentz. Carolina is so dangerous because of their defense and what Cam Newton can do on a given afternoon. New Orleans, does anyone want to deal with Drew Brees and a defense that's revamped this year? I mean, we're talking about a lot of teams right now. And by the way, the Los Angeles Rams can put some points up, can't they? And Aaron Donald hasn't been blocked all year.
It's really a great field. It's going to be a heck of a playoffs. But I think when you're the Vikings and you've got the number 1 defense yardage, the number 1 defense points, the number 1 defense third down, I got to feel pretty good about that.
I go back to something Kyle Rudolph told us. As an offense, we just want to give them an early lead, our defense, and turn them loose. Because I don't like trying to block them. I can't imagine anyone else doing it. And here's what Kyle Rudolph's talking about. Safety early in the game against Mitchell Trubisky. Look at how they floated the ball. Andrew Sendejo with the big tackle open field. Trey Waynes, who's been tremendous today, even got away with a hold in the end zone on the last series. And look at this last play, last sequence here. Gedeon, the rookie, and then snuffing out Tariq Cohen. A host of Purple People Eaters Vintage 2017 getting the job done for the Vikings. So to your point, Kevin, this defense not only travels, but in this building, with the momentum they have, they're hard to deal with.
They don't have a weakness. Run it again. It's Murray. Big hole. Latavius Murray. First down. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning as the Vikings can smell it. They can smell the number 2 seed, that first round bye. Trying to bring in the new year with some good mojo and a first round bye. State Farm Game Break Show comes your way next on Fox, and then a big slate of late games as Falcons trying to clinch the final playoff spot against Carolina to control their destiny. Seattle needs a little help with a win and an Atlanta loss. And the Vikings are going to get a number 2 seed in a bye, and they will take 2 wins to get to a Super Bowl play right here in this place. Pretty good motivation. Latavius Murray's had himself a day. Couple touchdowns, and this may be the icing on top. Murray rumbling across the 40 to the 44. He's over 100 on the day, a 22-yard run, and this is the Vikings. Great D, and they wear you out by the end of it.
And give some credit to the offensive line. He doesn't have to make a cut until he gets to the back of the legs of his offensive linemen, and that's what you want. That means you're controlling the line of scrimmage as an offensive front. Never did he have to make a move until he got to the back of the legs of those guys blocking. They create a space, and off he goes.
And now they could just take a knee. Today's game being produced by Pete Macheska, directed by Artie Kempner, technical producer Clyde Taylor. The associate director is Tyler Dale. Our technical director is Derek Joyo Prietno. Audio provided by...
Delay game. Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Greg Rolstad so rudely interrupted my roll call there. Mike Tatamir, one of our fantastic camera folks. Danny Steele, or Steely.
Steely Dan.
We like to call him. Out on the cart all year long. He's happy today's inside. All right. Keith DeSantis, rock and roll. Keith does it all for us.
Got a tremendous crew.
Grant Dobbins. Dobby's in the booth up here with us.
Thank you, Dobby.
Mike Zimmer.
Crew. I got to thank this whole crew, Kevin, for letting me be a part of this crew this year. Thank you.
Hey, I got to tell you, Charles, it was a wonderful first year having you in our group. That's for sure. Charles Davis, I think we should go and do this for a long time. I'd like to. I know that. This will do it. Minnesota. Happy New Year to you. You got yourself a first-round playoff bye. Case Keenum, one of the stories of the year. Came in, backup role, just looking to kind of reset his career, and now he's won 11 games as a starter for these Vikings, and he's going to be starting a home playoff game in 2 weeks.
He won't win the MVP in the league. He won't go to the Pro Bowl. But he might be the MVP of this Minnesota Vikings team.
So the Vikings take care of the Bears 23-10 here in Minneapolis today. The State Farm Game Break Show is next. For Pam Oliver, Charles Davis, and our entire NFL on Fox crew, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Happy New Year. See you soon. State Farm Game Break Show right now.